And we, the jury, find the defendant, Pedro Arnaldo Santiago-Marquez, guilty.
It took 12 jurors just 60 minutes to convict a Green Bay man of murder and mutilating a corpse. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Sarah is off. Just hours after Pedro Santiago-Marquez testified in his own defense, the jury found him guilty of 2 crimes.
He is now convicted of killing Jason Mendez Ramos over a large drug debt.
And then trying to dispose of the body by having a former employee discard Mendez Ramos's body near UW Green Bay's campus and burn it. While on the stand this afternoon, Santiago-Marquez denied shooting Mendez Ramos, but says he owed him wages for work. After his testimony, the jurors heard closing arguments and were given the case to deliberate around 1:30 this afternoon. They did not ask the court any questions. An hour later, all 12 jurors had reached a unanimous verdict on both counts.
In the state of Wisconsin versus Pedro Arnaldo Santiago-Marquez, as to the offense of first-degree intentional homicide party to the crime, as charged in count 1 of the amended information, we, the jury, find the defendant, Pedro Arnaldo Santiago-Marquez, guilty.
Santiago-Marquez will be held without bond until sentencing on May 30th. A first-degree intentional murder conviction carries a sentence of life in prison.